Hello YouTube. Today we will be looking at different project which will be creating a narrative from our revenue table, and it will be a very simple screenshot and copy and paste and create a narrative. Let's start. We will switch to our spreadsheet. This is our table for our revenues, and for those of you who are not familiar, this is a fund accounting for most of the districts, towns, and cities. I will screenshot this table. Then I will switch to my ChatGPT. I will paste that table, and then I will paste this text that I prepared earlier, and then let's read that text. The text says, "You're an assistant to a school business official for any town school district. Write a narrative for the following revenue table in plain, easy to understand language, 6th grade English. Make it professional but jargon free. Aim for a parent and board audience." Once I send it in, what happens, it reads the data. After it reads the data, it starts creating our narrative. Once it creates the narrative, then we can ask follow-up questions. First, we are always welcome to go and change this information. However, we cannot change it in this view, but what we can do, we can activate our canvas mode and then say rewrite. What it will do, it will open the canvas mode, and in canvas mode, you can always go in and make changes on this text. For example, you will click this edit and start editing anything you would like. Now, what you can also do, you can activate thinking mode. You just go in, you say thinking mode, and then you say process it again. What it will do, this time it will think before it processes the data, which allows it to go into more detail, read the information, and analyze the data based on different structures, different breakdowns, and so on. We can also instruct it to look at different websites, different states, and come up with good explanations for each account and summaries. We will wait until it finishes thinking, and then we'll continue. Great. Now what we have a better narrative with better numbers. As you see, it started to group it by local property tax, state money, federal grants, and it probably took these numbers from its knowledge. Now what we can do, we can ask it to create charts. For example, let's create a pie chart. We'll say create a pie chart based on the funds. Then we can explain fund is the first 2 digits of the account number. These numbers are from Illinois Chart of Accounts for Education. It will automatically understand what fund is. It will take the fund and it will extract it from the account number. Then it will go and check what those numbers mean in Illinois Chart of Account for Educational Institutions. Based on that, it will create a pie chart. Let's wait until it creates the pie chart. One thing I would like to mention here is that you can always skip this thinking, or you can turn off thinking model and ask for a quicker answer. The reason I'm leaving it so that it does better analysis and it understands my question better and it gives me more accurate information. You can see that this time it started thinking and it thought about 2 minutes and 21 seconds, and now it's in the process of creating the pie chart. Once the pie chart is ready, we are free to download it and use it in our presentation, which means that we already have our narrative written down. which we can make changes, by the way. For example, if you don't want to include this too, you just delete this too and don't include it once we have the session done. Now it's asking, do you want me to add second chart? All set. It looks like it added the pie chart to the canvas. Maybe not. What we will do, we'll close canvas, and I see that it generated a code. So what this time I will do, I will disable canvas and I will ask it to generate an image of the pie chart. And before I proceed, I will turn off the thinking mode and I will select auto and run it. This way it has the context. It should be able to generate the pie chart pretty quick. I will also show you how to view this code that it's written. What you do, if you go to edit and then if you did run code, it will run the code and it will generate the pie chart for you with the explanation in the bottom. Then what you can do, you can just save it in your file on your desktop, and you can then ask it to generate it with colors. If you like this version, you can create a PDF out of it. You can do anything you want with this code, and that's the beauty of it. And as you can see, it generated our file. Now you can download the chart and use it in your presentations. You can continue this conversation as long as you want. You can ask for function summary, program summary, and so on. You can do the same thing for expenses. Expenses usually are more lines. It will take more time for it to analyze, and I would encourage you to check its work all the time to make sure that the totals are correct. Once the totals are correct, it's verified, feel free to use it for your board meetings. Thank you for listening. I hope this was useful for you. If you need anything consulting related and AI related, feel free to reach out to us at flowlyst.io.